A way too early look at the big tabletop RPGs of 2024.
It's never too early.
2024 might be the biggest year in tabletop RPGs yet, as there are a number of major RPGs set to come out next year, along with a brand new revision that, is also going to sell a ton of money. Now, if you want to know what RPGs you should start saving up for, the character sheet has got you covered. We've got a rundown of some of the biggest RPGs coming out next year, so be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and let's dig in.
Prepare yourself.
Number 1, Dungeons & Dragons. We should probably get the elephant in the room out of the way first. Dungeons & Dragons is coming out with new revised core rulebooks in celebration of its 50th anniversary. The core rulebooks offer major revisions to several classes and emphasize background and character creation as opposed to species, or whatever Wizards is calling races these days. While 1D&D looked to be a major deviation from 5e, more recent playtests seem to make the revisions closer to 5e with some patches and new systems. Now, these core rulebooks will come out sometime in 2024, but expect those in the later half of the year. Number 2, Daggerheart. Daggerheart is Critical Role's new campaign-length tabletop RPG system built for high fantasy stories. The new game uses a 2d12 engine built around players rolling with hope or rolling with fear that factor in the complications or inadvertent bonuses a character might experience even if they pass or fail their rolls. Now, we had a chance to play through this RPG earlier this year, and we thought it was a blast to play, even if it seems to largely exist in the same sort of space that D&D currently occupies. Of course, with Critters always coming out to support Critical Role, we expect this to be a big hit, even if it directly competes with D&D. Now, you can sign up for the playtest by checking out Darrington Press's social media pages. Number 3, the MCDM Rpg. Another high fantasy RPG, the unnamed MCDM Rpg could also be coming out in 2024, or it will at least be deep in playtest. Now, we're excited for this game for a few reasons. MCDM has been one of the strongest publishers of 5e material out there, and its design team features some of our favorite designers. Based on the sort of material that MCDM has released in the past, we're expecting this to be a crunchier tabletop RPG with bigger abilities and a lot more focus on tactics than something like D&D. The Kickstarter for the MCDM RPG comes out in December, and we expect some more news then. Number 4, Starfinder 2nd Edition. Another game getting a new edition is Starfinder, the sci-fi cousin to Pathfinder. Now, Starfinder 2nd Edition will be fully compatible with Pathfinder 2nd Edition and the new Pathfinder Remaster. Now, we'll note that Starfinder 2nd Edition won't technically come out in 2024, but it will have its big public playtest launch in summer of next year.
Close enough.
Number 5, the Stormlight RPG. This is our vote for the sleeping giant of 2024. The Stormlight RPG is Brotherwise Games' first foray into RPGs and will be their take on the Stormlight Archive, Brandon Sanderson's very popular fantasy novel series. Early looks at the game make it look like it's going to be a mix of D&D 5e and Genesis.
Genesis, what's that?
Which makes sense because the lead designer is one of the folks who designed the Genesis engine. The game will be released in 2024, and we expect to hear more news later this month at Dragon SteelCon. Number 6, the Final Fantasy XIV RPG. Yes, Final Fantasy is getting its own RPG. Square Enix is actually releasing its own Final Fantasy XIV RPG with characters that seem to be based on classes from the popular MMORPG. Designers from the video game are apparently involved with the design of this tabletop version, and we're expecting it to be a pretty cool take on MMORPG style play at the tabletop. This game is due to be released in May of next year. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle RPG. Yeah, that's right, the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness RPG is coming back in remastered form, courtesy of Palladium Games. A Kickstarter for the 1980s throwback, which we will note, predates the cartoony version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so it's more satirical in nature and features a lot of, frankly, really strange stuff. has already raised nearly $500,000 in just one day on Kickstarter. This game will be released in September 2024, although we'll note that Palladium has had some issues delivering other RPG projects on time. Number 8, Tales of the Valiant. Kobold Press's Tales of the Valiant is a different take on D&D 5e, and it's built with Kobold Press's various products in mind. This game has had an up and down playtest that was criticized as being a little bit unbalanced and unfocused, and not really all that different from 5e, but the Kickstarter still raised over $1 million over the summer. A playtest for the game has been running since then. This game is due to release in spring of 2024. Number 9, the Assassin's Creed RPG. CMON is releasing an RPG based on Assassin's Creed, with a bespoke game system built around syncing up with, your ancestors to unlock new abilities and loadouts that are based on different skill cards and equipment. Now, a quick start guide was released earlier this year, and the game will be released in October 2024.
Nothing is true. Everything is permitted.
And at number 10, an official Diablo tabletop RPG is coming in just 12 months. Breaking news from BlizzCon, as Blizzard and Glass Cannon Unplugged has announced plans to make a Diablo tabletop RPG. The game will be released at BlizzCon 2024 and will use a unique game system, so this won't be some kind of 5e adaptation. Overseeing the project is Joe LaFavi of Genuine Entertainment, who has previously been involved in the Alien role-playing game, the Walking Dead RPG, and the Dune line of games. Also, Glass Cannon Unplugged will also make a Diablo board game, but we don't quite know when that game will be released, so stay tuned for that.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
The Gloom Haven tabletop RPG. And finally, Gloom Haven fans will have another excuse to pull out their massive Gloom Haven boxes out of the closet when the Gloom Haven tabletop RPG comes out next year. This new game will feature the same card system as the original game, but with custom character creation options and skills that feature outside of combat, which is, good because Gloomhaven was literally all combat. Now, this new game will be released in July of 2024.
What if we opened this world up and let people tell their own stories in it? What if we turned this world into an RPG?
So let me know in the comments, what RPGs are you looking forward to the most? Yeah, so hit those like and subscribe buttons.